My man. What's going on, Big D? Welcome to another episode of Hyper Vybe, people.
What's going on, brother? How you doing? How's your week?
Oh, I'm all hunting for those goodie books, trying to get the flavor of the week, the Hyper Haul of the week, as we call it. So what about you? You find anything interesting?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, my Hyper Haul was pretty good. There's a couple of things that we talked earlier in the week that you've seen already. I'm saying, but there's one thing I'll show you at the end that you have not seen that you will thoroughly enjoy.
All right, I'm game. So people, we're trying to create new segments here just to introduce new topics. So we came up with Hyper Haul. And basically what this segment is going to be about is books that we've either wanted or trying to obtain. Obviously, Alex said I'm more of the modern aspect. I was more of the classic aspect of collecting. I am getting into the classics. He did send me some gifts, which I plan to share with you guys in a minute. Some really super hotness out there.
Those came in? You got those?
So as they say in the M writes, 1,000 thanks. So we got that coming up, but and more topics. We might talk about the debate a little bit, and then let's see what's new. And got some other topics in my head that I want to discuss, but we'll throw them out there later. But for now, let's kick off our Hyper Haul of the week. Do you want me to go first? You want to go first? What do you want to do?
You go first.
All right. I picked up this little beauty right here. It's a foil. Anyone can see it. A lot of shine going on, but this is Batman and Robin #1. It's an art germ cover. Super cool. I also picked up, that's new this week, Detective Comics 411, Batgirl.
Who did that cover?
This one is by, let me get these on here. So this is Woo Chu Lee, and it's 305 out of 400. So you get the cert on the back of the comic, 305 out of 400. So it's a Woo Chu Lee cover. It's a really cool cover. Got some G.I. Joe, Baroness by Lyrics.
That's a tight cover.
Got that going on. And we have another book, another feature I got here, Berserker. It's a Tyler Kirkham cover, Battle Damage.
Yes, I know that you had sent me the initial #1s of that. You sent me a couple of variants of that, so that went into the gift box. That'll be never traded or given away or whatever. But I've been hearing rumors about that Netflix is going to option that into some sort of show or something like that. I haven't heard too much about it, but that's still a series that's going on.
From what I know, yes, absolutely. I know it's being written by Keanu Reeves, and there's another co-writer he has working on it, but it's picking up some steam, as well as for those of you guys who are Something Is Killing the Children fan, that actually Netflix is actually starting to get that going right now. I know they picked up the option on it about a couple of years ago, but they're actually starting to actually work on that series. So two pretty good series coming up, and like I said, if you don't have those books, pick them up now because they're going to be hot. They're going to definitely be hot.
Man, you know what? I want to say you sent me the 3 variants. You sent me 3 of those variants of the #1, the most expensive one, the one that gained the most traction. You didn't send me that one. I'm like, God dang it! All the ones he sent me, he didn't send me that one.
Show me after the show. Text me and let me know which one, because I might have it. If I don't have it, I need to get it, because they had about 20 #1s, and I'm like, which one do you get?
I know, and you sent me 3 of them. The covers are fantastic, but all the ones, oh man, when I was looking at them, I was kind of fair market valuing them, trying to take a look at them. Out of all the ones he sent, didn't send them. It's like, God,
I probably don't have it. Those are tough to get.
No, know what, we spoke about it too. We actually talked about it. I didn't get it. I don't have that. I'm like,
it's probably a 1 in. Oh, I know what it is, because he did a couple books where there were these 1 in 500s and a 1 in 1,000. Dude, they wanted some steer. I'm like, dude, they wanted, at the time it was like $900 for that. But I'm like, you guys are out of control, dude. Like, you people just keep on taking people's money. So I didn't pick up this haul right here. I got X Factor, and then I've got #2.
That's like one of the highest selling books of all time or something like that.
Well, this here, you told me to get this haul because you found a bunch of uncirculated books. So I got.
You went to that guy?
Yeah, I went to that guy. These are all the uncirculated.
You went to that dude on eBay? Oh, hell yeah. All of those, man, uncirculated. All of those should be like 9-8 candidates, man. Seriously.
Yep. They look pretty good. I'll give them that. Some of them have a little bit of blemishes on them, but they all look pretty good. So I got that.
There should be no spine ticks on any of them. And if anything is wrong with them, it's either maybe a corner got blunted or stubbed or something. And any surface dirt in it should be able to clean off, man. You should be able to get 9/8 off.
The spines and everything. The spines look good. So let me just show you what my man over here sent me. Homie here, my fan. So my last,
I sent that box last night. You trying to tell me you got the box already?
Dude, I don't know what kind of, maybe Saint Nick dropped this off, the Hyper Hall Night Essential Shipping Priority 101, whatever it is. But check this out. Check this out what my man sent me right here. Dude, Alpha Flight #1. But people, what's that say right there? That's a new
stick. Yes, those are extremely hard to find, especially in an ultra high grade. I had 2 of those. Right, I got a 9.8 white pages, and I had that one also. And I was gonna grade it, put it in. Oh, I'm just send it to Errol. You know what I'm saying? I already have a good one. Let me send in my other good one, and it should grade out high. I'm probably 75-80% sure it should grade at a 9.8. Get it. It's already cleaned and pressed it, so it's good to go. That you could just sit in and.
Nice, good looking out. He also sent me this, folks. Check this out. X-Men 60, bro.
Yes. First appearance of Sauron, one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite books and stuff. I actually have that book in a 9.6 white pages. A 9, it has eluded me. I want to say the one that I sent you was probably between an 8.0 and an 8.5. It's pretty good. Spine is good. There's some stuff down by the corner and stuff like that would keep it from the 9s and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that it's a high 8.
No, well, to me, I don't have a lot of Golden Age, so the fact that this will be with these 3 books you sent me in Golden Age, I'll have a total of 5 total Golden Age books in my collection, which I don't have a lot. And this is one of my favorites right here.
Yes, Jungle Comics. So I
chimpanzee, it's about to throw a body slam him or something.
So yes, I got an affinity for a lot of those jungle covers, the JoJo, the Zoot, and stuff like that. And I picked up a lot of books. Guy was selling a handful of books and stuff. I went through them, and I know that you don't have any of those books. I know what I shall pay it for it and gift that to you.
Well, I appreciate that, man, with all my heart, bro. Seriously, it was a nice surprise. I wasn't thinking you were sending me anything like that. I think I said it on the Whatnot show. I don't really have a lot of, because somebody was asking in the chat if I have a lot of Golden Age books. I don't have a lot of Golden Age books. I guess you must have heard me because I know you were in the chat trying to talk to me while I was doing the show, and I apologize I couldn't bomb because I was just being flooded with chats. But man, like I said, I appreciate you, bro. I don't have a brother in life, but I got you and Gary, so I appreciate that, man. You fam. So I don't. I've got a sister, but that's it. So I appreciate that. I really do. So that's my haul. That's my haul for the week.
Don't worry, bro. I got some more stuff coming to you. You know what I'm saying? And everything I send you is things that I would either put in my personal collection or I would press, clean, and grade. So do not ever think I'm sending you any kind of drudge or anything like that. Oh man, let me just send it in just to get it out of my house to get it into his house. So do not think. So let's see here.
Cool.
The first thing I'll show is this.
Oh hell, Amazing Spider-Man 50. That one looks good, bro.
Let's get close, man.
That looks real nice.
This thing is gorgeous.
That's not from eBay, is it?
I'm sorry?
That's not from eBay, is it?
No, as a matter of fact, this was from Whatnot.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So on Facebook, they have all those little different communities and feeds and stuff like that, and people put books that they're selling. So guy put this on there. Man, that is a nice book. It's extremely nice. As a matter of fact, I have 2 of these now. I have another one that I could show you. I think I showed it maybe last week, but I have 2 of these. And out of all the ones I've ever had, I've had probably like 6 or 7 come through my hands. This is the nicest one. It is really nice.
That looks sharp.
There's some down here. There's some stuff going on a little bit. But my thing is a spine, how clean the spine is, because most of the time that spine is all broken up. It just looks bad. So that's a good pick. That one's going to get clean to press, and that is going to go to
that gets the Hyper Hall stamp of approval for the week.
Yeah, but you haven't seen everything yet. It gets better. Then I picked this up.
What? Satana.
Yeah, it's her first appearance.
Dude, that one looks crazy, bro. Look how big that book is. So, folks, back in the day, books are bigger.
So I got these Vampire Tales. There's a couple of covers that I really like. I think in Vampire Tales, I think this This one is like the price one or whatever, relatively pricey because it's the first appearance of Satana. So that was a good look. And then now, as I continue, the dollar value or the rarity of these books start to increase. So I picked this one up.
Oh hell yeah, that looks cool. See, I told you I don't like mirrors, bro. Are those hands coming out the mirror?
Yo, woman, take your clothes off. I told you to take it off. Just let it happen.
Freaks me out, that horror stuff.
Here's another one. It's a good one.
Crimes and suspense stories. Nice. So this right here is all the pre-code you got going on.
I've been in, and this last week's haul is mostly pre-code. The only kind of Silver Age stuff or whatever that I got another Bronze Age, and that ASM 50 was silver.
Nice.
And everything else I'm about to show is all pre-code horror. So good look, man. She's about to have a bad night. About to pick that axe up and do whatever.
Black Cat Mystery. That looks really nice.
You lock an old girl all tied up, bonded up, and putting her in a sarcophagus or something like that.
Why does that guy's face look like that?
I don't know. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go online and kind of like I haven't read this issue in particular, right? Okay. I cover swiped it right, but I'll probably go back in and find it digitally and see what's going on with the stitches and stuff in his face.
That's an interesting cover.
And then I got this one.
That one looks pretty nice.
End of the World cover. I guess they got nuked or something like that, man. They're all having a bad day. They're all sweating. And this is a lot of people's grail. When it comes to pre-code horror, there's a list of books that are extremely, extremely sought after. And this one right here is one of them.
The Vault of Horror. Now that's a nice cover right there. Love the color, man. That it's pretty vibrant for an older book. Vault of Horror.
This is really, really nice. So when people see, oh man, you got that one in this condition, and this condition is probably it's not probably it's a 6.5. Okay. The individual I bought it from was graded. He bought it in a collection that he bought, but the collection that he bought, everything that was slab was not cleaned or pressed. Oh, so he bought the collection, cracked a lot of the stuff open, and cleaned and pressed it. It was gonna send it, but he was showing these books off in one of his shows, and he says, "Hey, I'm open up to offers," and I end up buying it, and you can actually see that.
Wow.
Yeah. So at the least, it's a 6.5, but it's been cleaned and pressed. And if I can get a 7 or a 7.5.
Dollar bill, Joe. Nice.
Yes, sir. So this is a highly sought after one. This one here I'm about to show is an impulse buy, and this one's going to take a lot of work because this is more like planned out effort.
Shock and suspense. I love that cover.
So this is a highly sought after cover.
I've seen that one when I was learning more about the Seduction of the Innocent stuff.
Oh,
it was actually in a video, that same cover.
So it was a crazy time back then. If you ask me, I think that whole Seduction of the Innocence thing was just a bamboozle. I don't think it was real. It was just people trying to get political points, and they thought they could get political points by using something like the corruption of kids with comic books and things of that nature. But a lot of it to me, it was just a scam, political scam, and then it kind of changed the entire comic book industry after that. Well, but yeah, so this one's, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
So this one's restored, 7.5 restored. Unlikely, what I'll probably do, I'll send this to CGC, to their little cleaning, pressing, whatever, and ask them to take off do they do that, right? To remove the restored stuff? Does CGC, their little cleaning thing, do that? Do they do that?
I think it depends on what has been restored. If somebody did color touch-ups, they're not going to remove it because it's going to damage the book. But if it's something that was, I don't know, there's certain things they can undo and bring it back to normal. But as for ink color touch, I don't know how they would do that. There's possibly a way, but I've never heard them doing that.
So I'll talk to some other pros in this stuff, but more than likely I'm gonna have all the whatever color touch. I looked it up. It only has a little bit of color touch, but they had like tear seals or something like that they had in here. I don't know what those are. I'm sorry. I'm still ignorant of a lot of different things. But the bottom line, that's what I'll do. Pricey book though, even restored or whatever, still extremely pricey. Presents extremely well.
That's good.
I'm not disappointed I bought it. So for the coup de grace, you did not see this one.
Wow, you got a friggin' 101? Holy smokes, and a 9.6?
Yes,
wow, bro, that's a pickup. So see, Darnell likes to do this stuff to me because he knows I'm an X-Men fan. And my goal is in the next 2 years or so is to get X-Men 101, X-Men 94, Hulk 181, and a giant size X-Men #1. Now, here's the problem. I'll just speak for myself. I have to get what I can possibly afford. So for me, a Hulk 181 and a 70, 75, that's probably where I'm at. There's no way I can afford an 85, 90, none of that stuff. It just becomes extremely expensive. Same thing with a giant size. No way in hell I'm gonna be able to afford no 9.4, 9.2. They're too much money. So you gotta spend, I have to spend what my budget is in a reasonable fashion. But the thing is, if I were to get those books in say a 7.5, 7.0, 8.0, I'm happy. Goes to my personal collection, sits there forever. And because what Darnell's taught me in the past is that you can find 7.0 to 8.5 books that present really well, that look like they're high grade, 9.2, 9.4, etc., but they're not. And to me, to just have those books in my possession, that's the goal, right? That's the end goal right there. So 101 is one of those books. So I can't believe you got that 9.6. That's crazy. That's a good haul.
Yep, 9.6 white pages. And as a matter of fact, I got that at Heroes Con. I had some spies there. I didn't go. Stop.
Little birds, yeah, little birds hanging around.
Yeah, some spies there and stuff like that. Came across that and was able to do a deal over the phone.
Over the phone?
It was over the phone, man. It was a video, and I'm seeing it. It wasn't a raw book, of course. It was graded, so right. I have a little bit more assurance of what's actually happening.
Nice.
I want to say it was the last day of Heroes Con. Mm-hmm. So by that time, that's when the deals are happening. An hour or two before the door was closed for good, that I was able to get that. I'm not going to keep it. That's not a book that I'm going to keep in my personal collection. I'm sorry. Well, because a 9.8 101 and at a good price that I'm willing to pay is eluding me. So I'll hold on to that one and maybe trade up. Use that book to trade up.
9.8. Listen, that book was, if you roll back the 2017, a lot of the books we're discussing right now, the 181s, the 94s, the 101s, they've all gone up tremendously in price. Super expensive books now compared to if you had the foresight to see from back then that what they would be now. 2017 was the time to pick up those books, or earlier. Oh yeah, different, man. That's a good pickup, bro. That's definitely a hyper haul.
It's a good time now. A lot of comic book prices are flat. Some of them are going down. Certain books always go up, but a lot of the prices are going down. I'm actually seeing some pretty good deals out there. So that's when I usually start doing my buying. People are starting to get rid of things or whatever. Yeah, I'll be more than that. Buy low, sell high, right? So, but some of those books, a lot of those pre-code horror books, they're going to stay in my personal collection. So I won't be selling those or anything like that. Clean them, press them, and store them away. And I'll probably hold on to them for a couple of years and maybe sell them and let somebody else enjoy them for a while.
Nice. Well, before we move on from from the conversation, when you brought up the pre-code horrors before, I did a little bit of research. I'm trying to get into this stuff myself. And from what I learned about the seduction of the innocent, this guy, Frederick Wortham, wrote a book, or was the author of this book, called Seduction of the Innocent. And he was basically saying how comic books were either teaching kids how to be like juvenile delinquents or teach them how to rob and steal and things like that. And then they brought all this stuff to a Senate hearing to say, hey, this is going to affect society. Therefore, we have to do something about it. But what bothered me the most is that, from what I'm learning more about this stuff, is that they didn't have any empirical data. They didn't look at facts or statistics of what was real in society. They just made this up. So when you say the bamboozling, is that what you're talking about? There was no hard data behind this. That's what I was confused about. Like I said, I'm still learning more about this stuff. So and then obviously, folks, the comic book industry came up with the comic book codes of authority, which that stamp that you see now in the comic books, to self-regulate the industry. Otherwise, the government would have stepped in and done it for them. But since they did that, the government backed off. But there was like Senate hearings for weeks upon weeks saying how this is destroying society. And to me, it bothers me to how just one person that didn't do any checks and balances for anything could basically persuade a nation to change how they look at things. And that's what you need to really, really, really look at what's going on even in today's society, on how one person can really be influential to change or unravel the democratic process of society without putting any hard data or facts behind it.
So when it comes to me, I was kind of like you. The beginning was mostly modern and bronze and silver, things that I understood. But there was a guy that I met, dealer, had been dealing with comic books for over 30 years or something like that. That's trying to educate me on the golden age and pre-code horror and stuff like that. And I always kind of looked at goes like, oh man, them some real simple drawings, some real simple covers compared to the complexity you see today of In-Hook Lee and guys like that, Liefeld and Lee and things like that. But as I look more and more into the history of a lot of those books and stuff like that, I started to get more into it. And then for me, in the pre-code horror side or the pre-code side, there's a certain little niches that I'm kind of in. So anything, bondage on the cover or something weird happening to women and stuff like that, I find it extremely fascinating. Even though I totally agree with what you're talking about, it's like, God, dog, they were really getting away with that. They were really like severed women's heads on comic book covers and women being all tied up and about to get a hot poker in their eye and stuff. The message that it was given is like, wow, they actually had these on display and stuff like that in drugstores and stuff. Right. So the more and more I see those covers and stuff, I mean, you know what? I like to have that because it just seems like a part of history of how the industry had progressed from then and to where it is now. Because at one point, I want to say in the 70s, they started actually doing those grotesque and weird covers again, but the magic was lost and stuff. It did not have the same feeling that it had during the time of pre-code and stuff. And that's when the whole superhero thing started to continue to gain traction. And that horror stuff just kind of went by the wayside.
Now, did you ever look up the artists and the writers of these stories? Did you ever do any hardcore research to find out what was behind the creativity and the aspect of a severed head woman? Like, were you able to find maybe, let's say, Errol and Darnell, who was the author of one of those books? Well, his wife left him, so he went through a horrible divorce, so now he started writing these books, and that's where he was getting his creativity from. Did you find anything like that?
No, what funny you said, I'm going to have to look back into it. I've done a little bit of research. I've seen a couple of videos or documentaries kind of talking about it. But there was one video where at certain companies, be it EC or something like that, where they were asking for more. The guy would draw a cover and stuff like that. They would come back, nah, man, can we get worse? Can we do more? Well, of course we can. So it seemed more like that.
Jesus.
And but what's also interesting and stuff, if you actually read the books, some of those books had messages inside them. So you would kind of like maybe look at the covers and says, oh man, this could imply some sort of bigotry or some sort of racism or something like that. But there are a couple of these artists and writers and stuff like that actually had messages in there. Like, racism is bad and treat everybody fairly like that. There was a couple of books that actually had messaging in it. It wasn't all just blood and guts and stuff.
Right.
And then other thing I learned about is that they actually had black artists back drawing these books.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, there was one, I want to say his name is A.C. Hollingsworth, right? And I want to say I do have a A.C. Hollingsworth cover, right? Black artist, mind you. We're talking about in the 1950s. 1 second, I shall return.
He's got to go to the storage facility and get these books.
Here you go.
I've seen that cover, Crime Mysteries. A.C. Hollingsworth, wow. Right. It's got that piano wire coming out.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got a black guy drawing white people coming to some sort of demise or some sort of weird stuff.
Right. That's funny.
And I want to say there's another artist, black artist, don't worry, the netizens or the YouTubians or somebody out there smart will probably correct me. I think his name is Matt Baker. He was another black artist during that time. Because A.C. Hollingsworth did this cover in 1954. Right?
Stuff is really interesting, man.
It's truly interesting. So the more I got into it, the more I started looking into the pricing of things. And some of these books can be extremely expensive because the rarity, the grade and stuff like that. You can get like a 1.0 or a 5 or 0.5 or something like that. And you can be in the $3,000 and $4,000 range. And it's barely a book still held together. And so like $5,000 for that. It's you've really gone at once you start collecting Golden Age and pre-code horror, you're at a different level, right? You really are.
I've seen some of the books like 10 and 20 grand at a 3.5 or 4.0.
So deals that you would normally find, or the abundance of Bronze Age and a lot of Silver Age and things of that nature, you can always find a deal someplace because there's so many of them. But once you start getting into the pre-code and the Golden Age and stuff, it's really scarce. And you look at the CGC census, it's like there's only a few. There's not that many, right? And sometimes you'll find a book that's like there's only 165 on the census, and you have it, right? Wow. So out of all the books that are graded, I don't know what's going on with CBCS or PGX or something,
right?
But it gets different. And then the demographic that buy those books gets even smaller, right?
It's like
so
niche.
They're not, it really gets niched, right? I'm not sure exactly how our younger generations and stuff, last two generations are really into pre-code horror and stuff like that. Not sure, don't know. I'd like to hear somebody, if there's an 18-year out there that's gathering this stuff, I'd like to talk to you, right? It's not just like, hey, what got you into it while you're collecting stuff? And even for me, we're talking about 54, way before I was born, but still, the more I see it, then I'm at conventions and we're running around at the different tables and stuff like that, talking about selling and buying books and stuff like that. You show up with a bunch of modders, what you got? You open a box full of pre-code and Golden Age and stuff like that. All of a sudden, the body language starts to change. It's a different conversation, right? So I'm still learning. I have a list of things that my friend gave me, Damian Hill from Warthog Comics. He's basically my consultant when it comes to buying Golden Age and pre-code horror. So I don't want to miss a beat, because at the end of the day, man, when I first started seeing the stuff, I don't know who's ripping who off, right? Okay. Because some of this stuff only sells very rarely. So you can actually go into either GPA or you go into Go Collect and you start to look how often some of this stuff sells. And some of these books, a 6.5 of something hasn't sold since 2014.
So how do you compare?
How do you average that out, right? So now it's sold 2014. Now it's 2024. What do you add inflation to the number that it sold before, or do you look at, can you find one that sold below it recently? Can you find one that sold above it? As far as grade, just say it's a 6.5. Well, when's the last time a 6.0 got sold? What was it for? When's the last time a 7.0 got sold? What was it for? And sometimes there's nothing there, right?
So what are you doing to deal with that right now? So obviously you're buying these books. I know they're some are graded, some are raw. Is that dealer or that person that's selling you that book, are they coming to you saying, yes, I know this is a $4,000 book in 2014, but I want $6,000 for it today? Are you seeing that, and what are you saying to combat that?
Okay. I usually walk away or phone a friend, right? So the individual I said before, Damien, and I've talked to him numerous times about numerous books and stuff like that. And since he's been doing this so long, he sees these books, he knows the history of them, then he can give me the best advice of what he would do as a collector and a dealer, right? So that's really, because I don't understand exactly how a lot of this stuff moves and things of that nature. But what I do know is that Golden Age books and pre-code horror does not move like all the superhero stuff, this bronze and modern stuff. And I tell you all the time that hero stuff, Marvel and DC stuff, like cryptocurrency, bro. It just up and down, up and down. Hot today. Oh man, we didn't like the Venom movie, right? And all of a sudden, book tanks. Everybody's trying to get rid of it. So you can see all the time that a lot of these books, man, during the hype before a movie, oh man, we saw the first trailer. Oh man, it's going to be off the chain and stuff like that. Then the speculators go wild. All of a sudden, they're flooded on eBay. Everybody's paying these exorbitant prices for these books. And then the movie comes out, and nobody likes it. And everybody comes back down to reality, right? And then you're underwater. A book that was selling 4 or 5 months ago for a couple $100, all of a sudden it's selling for $1,500. You know what I'm saying? So then when the hype is over, know where that book is going? Right back down to $200 where it was before. Now you got all these people that have spent all this money into it.
It's terrible.
So pre-code doesn't really operate like that because it's really not tied to any other media, right? So usually those prices stay pretty stable and they creep up, stay stable, creep up a little bit, stay stable. You never really see them tanking down.
Right.
That you remember I bought that Miss Marvel first appearance of Carol Danvers. Remember that?
Yep.
Bought that book, man. I want to say it was a 7.5. No, it was raw, very nice book. Bought it for $1,200. Thought it was gonna be $1,200. Thought it was gonna be an 8.5. Got it graded. Came back a 7.5. And that's the whole way after the whole Brie Larson thing or whatever. You know how much that book is worth now? $300-$400 at best. Right. I just had to lick my wounds. Dump it. I dumped it, man. I put in a lot of comics I was selling somebody and just got rid of it, man, because I just couldn't look at it anymore. Right. So those effects really drive your future collection or collecting habits. So what I try to do is hedge myself, right? So I hedge myself with pre-code horror and some golden age for the topsy-turvy market of the whole superhero stuff. So yeah, that's me rambling on, my bad.
No, not at all. I was just going to say, I probably didn't lose as much as you on that book. I did buy an Avenging Spider-Man 9, which was another.
That one too.
Captain Marvel's first appearance, one of them. And then I think I bought that book for about $120 raw. Graded it, came back at 9.8. And I was so stupid not to sell it. I think that book went up to $700, close to $800. I was supposed to flip it. Never did. It came out, and literally within 2 weeks, that book was back. It was at $150, $200, what I paid for.
Same with the Eternals, right? Eternals #1. Man, I can remember those books, a lot of boxes at people's benches, people's tables and stuff like that, and near mint copies, just bundles of them. Then they said, oh, it's going to be an Eternals movie, right? That 9.8 shot through the roof. Man, I want to say at its high point, that book was almost selling at almost at $3,000 at one point.
Wow.
But I know better, right? I'm saying I'm going to get a couple of them, grade them, and flip them and get up out of there, right? So I don't even have one anymore. I guess it's a cool book to have, but not not a $3,000 law school, right? So yeah, it's a great hobby. It makes it greater when I have brothers like you to share the hobby with, that we talk about our adventures in the wild of trying to find these books and stuff like that. And hopefully every story you tell is not some sort of horror story you've been robbed or ripped off or scammed or something like that. So, and that's what kind of kept me in the hobby. Because at one point, man, I was pricing everything. I said, man, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to just sell everything. I'm done. I'm good. I can find some other stuff to waste my money on besides paying thousands of dollars for magazines. Right? But no, I'm good. Everything is helping now.
Eternals #1 and 9.8 is $500 right now.
Right. So if you're looking at Go Collect, right, they'll say it's high and it's low. And what was its high? What does its high say?
So 2021. 800,
damn near $4,000. Somebody bought that book,
and then
for damn near $4,000. And if they bought it off of eBay, that means they paid the 38. They paid the shipping. They live, where they live. They're paying some sales tax and stuff. So basically, somebody north of $4,000 for that book.
Yeah, crazy. 30.75. Yeah.
Now you can get one for
fair market value
between $400 or $500.
Yeah.
I did not keep that book. I had like them, and man, once I was like, yep, I'm about to sell, because I think I bought like 6 of those at like a couple $100 each. And I was collecting a particular book, before there was even kind of movie talk or anything like that. I wanted to have that one in #2 as part of the PC, right? Okay. So it wasn't like I was trying to jump into that as speculation. I just actually had the book, and I had like 9.8s, right? 3 graded 9.8s, and all of a sudden the hype train started. Like, how far is this going to go? And I waited till like it got to the peak. I want to say I sold them off about maybe at like $2,600 a piece. I never got to the 3,800 range and stuff like that. I wish I would have met that guy.
What a beating.
Yeah, that's a beating.
Oh my God. $96. Oh yeah, see, it wasn't lying, folks. 7 that's all close to 800. And then here comes the demise. I'm actually upside down now on the book, and I have a 9.8.
You've had it so long that you lost all equity in the book, right?
Oh, but you know what? At the end of the day, man, listen, him sitting up on
I love that cover though.
back is a badass cover, bro. He's just like
still a good
a cool cover, so I'm gonna keep it.
So it goes to show folks that, man, no matter what, buy what you like. Do not ever buy anything that, you know, it's hard to see why something that you bought kind of appreciating any kind of value. But the bottom line is, like, as long as you're happy with it, buy what you like. When it comes to hobbies and stuff, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. To that.
So if you're willing to pay $500 for it and somebody else is not, well, good on you, right? That's what you wanted. I'm saying, if that's what you want and you feel like you don't have no issues paying that, then it is what it is. Keep it moving. But, you know, if you're trying to do this in like money, man, stand by. You know, smart, man, because you can find yourself a weird place. So I try my best to buy, you know, what I like, something I wouldn't mind keeping. Even, you know, talked about that X-Men 101. I'm stuck with it, that I can't trade up for it or something like that. It's not the end of the world. You know, pretty high grade, but, you know, there's something I'm trying to achieve in my John burn-cochrum run, you know, the X-Men. So yeah.
To mention, you're collecting on newsstands, so at the end of the day, it's a pretty good collection of books.
Yeah, I know the other night I was sharing a couple of what I had in there. There's still a few I'm missing, right? But, you know, by the end of the year, I think I'll have all the books that I wanted in that kind of burn-cochrum run, the Phoenix Saga and all kinds of stuff like that. That, you know, in like 37, 138. That I want, you know, those 9/8 white pages. I am not sure if I'll obtain 9/8. I'm not sure. It's kind of pricey, a bit up there. But I have two right now that are in the high 9s. I think I got maybe a 9.2 and a 9.4 candidates. And if those come out 9.2, 9.4 or something like that, I will be happy with that and keep it moving.
Dude,
you know,
it's $38,000.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now that I'm not the guy. I am not paying.
You ain't the one.
$30,000. No, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I can pick up a 9.
I'd rather take 3.
That's why this is my goal.
Right.
And that's high grade.
Yeah.
Near mint. What can I say?
Yeah, it's high grade.
I don't need to do this. Listen, if I ever amount some money one day where I can get that, well, God bless everyone. God bless me too. But I'm happy with these two.
Yeah, I don't think I could spend $38,000 on a comic book and not miss that money, right? So, rather, if I had $38,000 of disposable income like that, just like, yeah, buy a magazine, a comic book with that, I'd probably start another business. That's what I probably. So I buy a lot of books. I actually spend a lot of money, but there's a threshold I just don't go above. Right? I have a threshold, right?
Same here, bro. my threshold's lower than yours.
Yeah, the threshold, right? So I'm always looking for deals. I'm looking for bargains. You know, I'll use equity that I have in books with cash to trade up, but I'm not writing $20,000 checks and stuff like that. That's right.
Nice.
That's not right. But, you know, boy, Damian Hill with Warthog Comics and stuff, that dude will spend $20,000-$30,000 for one book.
We should see if we can get him on to talk about some stuff one day.
Yes.
Maybe in the next show.
I've talked to him a couple of times, and he's more than willing to come on and educate the ignorant.
Nice. I'm down with that. Well, folks,
you know, Sodi. It is Sodi, seduction of the ignorant.
Nice. Well, listen, folks, time we have this week for our show. Thank you for watching, listening. Please remember to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week. Next week, we want to talk about some video games. We want to see like what's coming out, give some advice on some video games, and maybe talk about what's going on in the world. We got some interesting opinions on what's happening in today's society. So once again, my name is Errol.
I'm Darnell.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Please like and subscribe.
Yes, it helps with the algorithm. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Because there is no algorithm right now, but please like and subscribe. Run with us. Get involved in the conversation. If you send us something witty, you send us something funny, man, we even probably invite you on and let you be, your conversation. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Thanks, folks. See you next week.